Good evening again, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back. Today is Monday, July 28th, 2025, and I would like to call to order the special public hearing for the proposed school closure of the Schiller School building. This is a hearing that's required under Section 780 of the Public School Code of 1949, and it was advertised as required on July 3rd, 2025 in the Pittsburgh Post-Gazette. Comments at this hearing will be limited to the proposed closing of the Schiller School building. As we always do, we want to clarify how the process works. The speakers who are here in person will go first, followed by those who are online. All speakers will have 3 minutes to speak. As your time begins to wind down, if you are here in person, the light on the microphone will flash red. If you're online, we will give you the raised hand signal to let you know that your time is running down. All speakers are only allowed to speak during their designated time, and they cannot share their time with anyone else. Let's see. If a registered participant misses their time, we will call your name again at the end to give you a chance in case you showed up late. For those who could not participate in person or virtually, you can watch the recording of this video tomorrow on the district website. It will be posted along with all written testimony, read or unread. And then those stakeholders who want to watch the hearing live can go to our district website and click the link on the district homepage. And with that, I will turn the meeting over to Ms. Erica Gandy.
Thank you, Mr. Walker. And our first speaker this evening is Stephanie Lepine.
Hello, my name is Stephanie Lepine. I'm currently a teacher at Pittsburgh Manchester. Before being transferred to Manchester, I worked at Pittsburgh Montessori many years. I'm also a Montessori teacher trainer. In fact, I returned just last night from Michigan, where I led yet another cohort in an intensive weeks-long residency in the Montessori education method for teachers earning their Montessori certification. This year's cohort was exceptional in that it was my first experience leading an all-female cohort, Muslim, Jew, Christian, and Hindu. These women came together to answer the call that Montessori education provides to those seeking a better way for children across culture, race, language, and socioeconomic status. This year, they broke me with their stories of survival, stories of victory through suffering, and stories of a collective coming together for the children. During the final days of residency, as we discussed the tradition of exclusion in Montessori in America, one of the cohort brought a quote for us to discuss. The following quote: "They tried to bury us. They didn't know we were seeds." Montessori education can be the fertile ground for these seeds to grow, if only systems of oppression will allow them to. As a district, numbers seem to be our thing. Here are some numbers. Pittsburgh Montessori ELA PSSA 2024. White proficient and advanced, 89.1%. Black proficient and advanced, 4.7. Pittsburgh Montessori Math PSSA 2024. White proficient and advanced, 75%. Black proficient and advanced, 17.6. Interestingly enough, the below basic numbers are even more interesting. White below basic in ELA, 4.7. Black below basic ELA, 52.9. White below basic in math, 3.1. Black below basic in math, 52.9. To compare that to the other school with which I have a lot of, years of experience this year, Pittsburgh Manchester seems to be doing better with numbers. Black proficient and advanced, 4th grade, ELA, 27.3. Black proficient and advanced, ELA, 5th grade, 25%. Numbers to you, seeds to me. These children reflected are not just numbers, they're seeds. The children at Manchester, seeds. Manchester's Black students are performing at rates better than Montessori's, and yet PPS is promoting one as an example of excellence while we are closing the other. Who's going to nurture these children? How many of you in this room have spoken to a Manchester student and asked them about their school? My Manchester babies, as I call them, call me Grandma. I see them and I listen to them every day. I know that their hearts are hurting over their school closing. I also know they feel that a lot of people don't care about them. They know that I care.
Thank you for your testimony. And our next speaker is Justin Williams.
Hello, good evening. My name is Justin Williams, and I'm here as a PPS parent and as someone who believes that successful public education should inspire our kids, not just instruct them. I'm here tonight to defend the STEAM magnet program and specifically to urge you not to close Schiller. I also want to challenge the idea that this program is expendable. Before our son Colin started at Woolslayer, we were deciding between public and private schools. I remember meeting with the principal at that time, Miss Gallagher, and asking her, why should we choose Woolslayer? She said, because this school is a community and because the STEAM program works. She explained that STEAM doesn't teach subjects in silos. It shows students how science, technology, engineering, art, and math connect. That they'd be in dedicated STEAM classes working in teams to solve complex problems using all of these disciplines together. I laughed and said, oh, you mean like in real life? That's exactly what STEAM does. It brings real-world application into the classroom. It helps kids to see not just why they're learning, but what they're learning, but why it matters. The Schiller STEAM Magnet is one of the few middle school programs in the city where students can explore how math connects to music, how coding connects to storytelling, how science and art come together to solve real-world challenges. This is something that STEM alone does not offer. The A in STEAM, art, really matters. It's where creativity lives. It's where students learn to design, to communicate, and to imagine what's next. We hear a lot about equity in the Future Ready plan, but closing the STEAM magnet at Schiller while keeping others like Arsenal, SciTech, and Kappa doesn't feel like equity. It feels like inconsistency. If equity is truly the goal, we should be expanding access to high-quality programs, not eliminating them. Especially now, when Pittsburgh is growing as a tech hub, when companies are coming here, when innovation is shaping our economy, this is not the time to cut STEAM. We should be investing in it, growing it, making it a reason for families to choose PPS, not leave it. Because cutting STEAM won't just shrink opportunity, it will drive families elsewhere. But doubling down on programs like Schiller's STEAM Magnet, that can bring people in. That prepares our students to truly be future ready. STEAM isn't a luxury and it isn't expendable. It's a successful model that we should be building more of, not dismantling. I urge you to stand by the students, the educators, and the families who believe in this program and to make the choice to invest in a future that's already working. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Williams. And now we will move over to our virtual speakers. And our first speaker would be Lily Almond. Again, Lily Almond. We'll move to our next speaker, Valerie Webb Almond.
Lily is telling me that nobody would allow her to unmute. She's at an overnight camp trying to join.
Okay, would you like to go, Ms. Almond?
Okay, hang on just a second. Okay, yeah, I can go. All right. My primary concerns around the closure of Schiller are not around the building, but the loss of the STEAM program, the creation of an education desert in one of the most geographically isolated areas of the city, and what happens with students during this transition. First, STEAM is not STEM. During this entire FU process, you continue to use these terms interchangeably, and they are not the same thing. To be clear, STEAM is a far superior program to STEM, and it absolutely could be implemented district-wide to guarantee access to science, technology, engineering, arts, and math in a hands-on, interdisciplinary way. We even operate under a neighborhood magnet currently that you are eliminating everywhere except for in a handful of privileged pockets of excellence schools. This is the type of education that you claim you want to expand, so just do it. Stop confusing community members by equating STEM to STEAM. Many parents thought you were planning to keep the STEAM program, even if you ended the neighborhood magnet program and just move it to Allegheny and expand it to more neighborhood kids. But on Wednesday, when I asked, I was told that there won't be a commitment to keeping this program that has proven to close achievement gaps and lead in growth according to its Star School status. In addition, Schiller is located in one of, if not the, most geographically isolated areas of the city. It is not easy for kids in our side of the north side to get to other areas of the north side on foot. Between the hills, the lack of safe walkways, the highways that they would be required to cross, and even navigating areas with higher levels of crime and drug use, asking kids that live on our side of the north side to walk across these dangerous areas, especially with the shortage of crossing guards, will absolutely prompt families to look closer at charter and private schools. You are leaving the only second to eighth grade option in our side of the town to be Provident Charter, which my daughter walks past every day to go to Schiller as it is. I could put her in that program and she would be safe until eighth grade. And then once you lose the kids up here, they don't come back. They go to charter and private high schools. So you need to really keep in mind that this is not an area of the city that is easily navigable on foot. And a lot of these kids are going to be required to walk to Allegheny and King. So please keep that in mind in the transportation plan. Lastly, I'm deeply concerned about students during this transition. We already have a neighborhood magnet program with STEAM that goes preschool to eighth. These kids are in the same preschool with the same kids they're matriculating in eighth grade with. It leads to every option in every high school because it has a basis in everything that they need to succeed. You told me on Wednesday that not all eighth grade or not all kids that are in the magnet programs currently will stay in the magnet through matriculation. They
Thank you
might
for your
end up getting back
testimony.
to their neighborhood.
Next, we will have Lily Almond.
Before we start, I just want to say I am not attached to the building in any way, just so that way Mr. Walker can't let me in with all the other people that he twists his words on. My concerns with this proposal to close Schiller are eliminating all neighborhood magnet options in the north, south, and west while creating new, more exclusive pockets of excellence in gentrified east and central neighborhoods, eliminating the STEAM program instead of expanding it when it is one of the most successful programs in the city and was built by community members, and the devastating impact of lumping all 4 Northside middle schools into one building with the displacement of current staff and students of those schools, especially for students being displaced mid-program. First, eliminating all neighborhood magnet options in 3/4 of the city and protecting the most privileged students in gentrified neighborhoods is no way to run a school district, much less fixing the very real equity issues at PPS. The FU plan is appropriately named for all the students who don't live in these rich, white, gentrified neighborhoods. They continue to get first dibs on seats in these special schools, while all the other kids with that same privilege will have to keep settling for scraps. Second, the STEAM program at Woolslayer and Schiller has been one of the most successful neighborhood magnet options that PPS has ever offered. Since it began, it has drawn families back to this district and has been named Star Schools several times. STEAM allows kids to get into any program in middle and high school with strong arts and STEM classes. You keep using STEM and STEAM interchangeably and using confusion to trick people, but they aren't the same. If you really want to make every school great at PPS, I think you should put a full STEAM program in every school. Last, lumping all middle schools into a single building on the north side is a recipe for disaster. You have yet to actually release how you plan to fit us all into Allegheny. Are you counting on families to run to charter so we don't have overcrowded classrooms? You hide behind the answer that teachers have class size limits in their contract, but you don't acknowledge that the wiggle room written into the contract doesn't prevent overcrowded classrooms. That is how my fourth grade class had 34 kids by the middle of the school year with only one teacher and no support staff. Not only was that too many kids, but it was also too many kids in too small of a classroom. Also, you'll be moving kids mid-magnet program with this plan. What happens to kids in 7th or 8th grade during this transition? There won't be enough magnet seats for them, and even if they get in, they're going to be 1 or 2 years behind their peers. How about magnet kids? Will they be forced to lose their schools, their trusted adults, and their friends to go back to their neighborhood schools? This plan seems like a real FU to my friends that I've been in the same class since I was 3 years old. Once again, do better.
Thank you for your testimony. And this will conclude our testimonies this evening, and I will turn it back into the hands of Mr. Walker.
Thank you, Ms. Gandy. And again, thank you all for your time and commitment to this process. Just a reminder, we are back again tomorrow at 5 p.m. For the special hearing on Fulton, and then again at 7 o'clock for the special hearing on Spring Hill. And with that, this meeting is adjourned. If you are out and about driving, please get home safe. See you tomorrow.